Well, I spoke way too soon, and YouTube is blocking my stuff again. So I've disputed this. We'll see what happens. I'm not optimistic. So it probably means we're going to go back to the archive, which is fine because I love the archive. It is a bit of an annoyance for me because it means I have to transcode, which means my computer spends twice as long rendering, and my poor little laptop just struggles to churn these things out. It's kind of stupid that I even have to render. I might invest in some different screen recording stuff. If I could just process my audio in real time, get a compressor and an EQ on there, then I wouldn't have to do any editing at all, probably. And if I could do that in like a lightweight application that doesn't take forever to render things, that would be fantastic. Anyway, that's just stuff for me to sort out. I'll let everybody know where to find content and how that all shakes out. By the way, for people that are dropping views and likes and things on these videos, it just really means the world to me, so thank you. When you're looking at stuff that's this strange, it helps to know that there are some other eyeballs on it. Just for the purposes of kind of basic sanity check and, I don't know, just sort of human sympathy. Yes, we're looking at strange things in these very strange movies. And, well, it's really late, and I should go to bed. And I'm going to go to bed, but I wanted to put in a tiny bit of time on this because I think I'm going to have to take a break from looking at this Circle K thing, which got just a whole lot deeper, a whole lot faster than I thought it was going to. It's like I had no idea we were suddenly going to be looking at this new set of films. So, I want to do all this, but also I really want to look at Freaked again. And I think the DVD is coming tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to resist tearing into that. And I'm going to film all that. But I wanted to look at Pretty in Pink because I don't remember it that well, and also because I kind of have a feeling we're not going to see that much in it, though I'm not sure. So let's test that. And let's just jump right in. Make sure my pen tool works. Okay. So, I guess that running this stuff slow doesn't always fool these algorithms. But I like running stuff slow anyway because it gives space to think and talk. I'm going to try to just do like 20 minutes or half an hour here or something like that. We'll just see how much material we get through. John Hughes. Ferris Bueller is probably my favorite. Well, it's, hard to argue with Breakfast Club as well. We have a 3-2-7 sort of interleave for the 6 and a 5. 3-4-3, that's pretty interesting. That is a 9/11 significant number, of course. What's happening in the sound here? Some 80s tune that I can't identify at this speed yet. Okay, railroad tracks. parking lot thing. Kind of a bleak scene. This looks like a prison. That slight drop shadow. So tastefully done. Vehicle. What is this thing, by the way? Is it like a street cleaner thing? Oh, my laptop's starting to spin fans. Let's see, where's the old 2004 yearbook that I'm using to separate my laptop from the bed so it doesn't catch on fire. Well, we're definitely looking at a leg immediately. All this macro blocking. Terrible. This is supposed to be like a high quality rip or whatever. Although I guess it is only 720p, so maybe that's contributed to how terrible that looks. But it's less noticeable here where there's more like fine pattern detail. You really see it on the skin tones and stuff though. Well, okay, there's like floral patterns, so we are aligning legs with flowers. I guess this is Molly Ringwald, probably, so on our redhead. Interesting jewelry. Another flower. So we're she's definitely floral. More flowers. I guess that makes sense. I mean, it's a primary association to pink, right? It weirds me out a little bit being this close to a face and on film like that. It's like I feel like I'm a tiny insect or something. It's like perched on an actor's face when that happens. Odd. Coffee. Oh yeah, James Spader is in this. So, you know, also in Stargate. That's funny. Just love this sort of stuff. Where did they find that? What's the story with that, you know? Let's see here. There's some interesting stuff here, maybe. I wonder what that is. Well, let's see. Maybe we should also I guess we do have a red house here and a little bit of sort of North Towery resonant stuff there. Barely. It's going to look pretty hard to see that one. No, I don't know. Not much here. See, I thought we weren't going to see a lot here. Could still be proven majorly wrong, but I think... Come on, why aren't we playing? I think it's mostly quoted for the... quoted for the red hair and the Paramount logo. Did I mention that in this one, or did I mention it in the one that I had to delete? Because I did not clean up my desktop correctly. Wink, wink. Yeah, this is sort of a handed picture there. A little bit. Okay. Is that her dad? I don't remember what the situation is here. Is he like hungover, or what's the deal? Right now, at this stage, I'm not really interested in dialogue and plot stuff. Just looking at the pictures fall. Well, here is a person in a funny kind of metallic hat there. So there are little pieces of this. I mean, it is another redhead associated with roses, so that is a notable aspect, probably. Okay, scene transition. Oh, we're back in here. We're spending a lot of time in here. It would be good to know what that calendar is all about. Okay, oh right, she has this little hat. It's like a fantastic outfit. I think, anyway. But I'm into this terrible 80s and 90s retro stuff. This metal. Gosh, these sweaters, this blazer, whatever this is, it's just all amazing. Mini rectangles, you know. But just things you're going to find in a high school drama comedy or whatever. What's the name of this character again? This dude is the best. These glasses. This whole like attitude. I don't know. It's great. It's all that in there. Finally, something interesting. Tons of little pictures that we can barely see. We can therefore project all kinds of things into. Let's see. See if I can catch it, first of all. That looks like a figure. Not sure what that is. That's an ocean. That looks like a palm tree. That looks like it says Flicks. Not sure. It's a little bit evocative of that like surf Vietnam stuff that we saw in Back to the Future Part 2. Well, lots of interesting stuff there, but the 720p rip is not doing us any favors here. Well, he is a bit North Tower resonant with the funny hat and the strange glasses and the big grin and this texture and this color. You see how wide that particular aspect of the pattern matches, though, you know? It's like, okay, anytime we have red hair and another figure in a hat and glasses, that's it? That means 9/11 precognition is happening? I would say no to that. It is a different story, though, when we have a film like this, you know, quoted, embedded in another structure that's performing this strange image match stuff. And then it's like that thing has quoted this film that has this in it which is matchy. You know, we can read this as a match quite easily. So it's hard to know what to think. Like, let's say nothing else constellates in this film, and this is kind of the closest we get to something. If that's the case, do we think that there's something, you know, we don't even know what we're talking about, of course, but like quote-unquote precognitive happening in this film? Or do we think that this is just a normal film where this kind of happens a little accidentally, but it happens there, so this other thing that is some weird precognitive thing is then kind of pulling this into its vortex by way of referential sympathy or something, you know? Does it even make sense to draw those divisions? This is how much of a sort of pioneer area synchronicity is. We don't have answers to any of these really, really basic questions about this stuff. But, you know, okay, that is also happening here with all these rectangles, and, you know, funny to see that particular combination of things right here with the rows and all of this. It's not nothing. Let's put it that way, you know? It fits that area here. And again, we're in the first 5 minutes. Within the first 5 minutes, there's something a little matchy. And, you know, it actually is. That's interesting. A blue pyramid and a red pyramid. I was just going to say that his outfit is really, you know, it really emphasizes this kind of grid pattern. So he's a pretty strong North Tower resonator, I'd say. Red book. Always have to note the red books. Interesting. A lot of stuff going on there. by stuff, I just mean things in a movie frame. I don't mean weird stuff. Just a lot of objects here. What a great look. These are fantastic glasses. Pencils. I like this dude's vest. Sorry, this is. I guess this is just going to be a lot of commentary on the amazing fashion sensibilities on display in this film. Okay, a little more here. Twin objects on a red thing there. A little interesting. Some numbers there. 1933, let's say. One next page. Come on. I want. Let's jump forward. There's James. Nail gun. What's down here? She's up high. Is that... It's not Janine, is it? Ghostbusters? It is. I must be wrong about that. I'm sure I'm wrong. What's she drawing? I think it is her, actually. So she has a nail gun here. That's, interesting. It's interesting. Is that a horse? Looks like it has wings, though. Yeah. Well, so far my prediction of not much activity seems true. I'm not being blown away by anything I'm seeing here. Oftentimes, when I say things like that, though, when I watch the playback, I'm like, you idiot, you're missing some huge, obvious, crazy thing going on. But and I am quite tired at the moment, so maybe I really am not seeing things. It's a sense of... This is a strange image. What is this? Some album I'm not familiar with, I guess. It's not this, is it? All these hats. So many albums. Wow. Could spend a long time looking all these up. This is interesting to me though, this nail gun, because it's just they're keeping it around, you know. Okay, I think we're gonna have to go into a wider scan here. It's also possible that this is one of those films contributing on a narrative level in some way, or, you know, a thematic level, which would require an actual engagement with the film. I probably will watch it at some point. You know, give it a kind of an honest watch. Let me just think about it a little bit. It's interesting imagery here. Haystack. Been noticing haystacks recently. That's his bedroom. It's awesome. Well, Well, there's some quite interesting stuff here, I think. Because this whole image is a match. There's a red element. Oh, let's use the correct symbol. There we go. See, antenna. Cards, which thematizes chance and magic. We saw that same stuff at the Circle K. This is pretty interesting because it's another kind of dual figure thing, but it's another huge metallic element that's sort of roughly shaped like this. So this is all very North Tower. This is quite a handed image, I would say. Plus, look what we get here, you know? And there's the dog. That's, you know, okay. We have some structures worthy of highlighting here now, I think. So, well, I'm not sure what these are images of. Is it boxing or wrestling? Or is that a band? This looks slightly matchy to me. Right? That big hair there. Sort of. Whoops. Gosh, I'm tired. I really should go to bed. Let's take a closer look at those. Yeah. I find that significant enough to capture, actually. So, I think that something like this is dimensional enough for me, along with some of the echoes we saw earlier, to say, you know, to whatever extent, I feel like I'm making this weird, like, is it or isn't it, in the thing, sort of like binary call, which is, who knows if that's even useful. There's a dog back here. A moon. Interesting. But it's just a way to sort of find some pathway of navigation through this stuff. For me, it helps to have this list of films where I'm like, I could say with some certainty, like, there are enough strange things going on in the film to count it as part of the structure. To me, I think this is probably enough now. This is quite a remarkable picture to me, especially the way the cards get integrated here. You know, again, considering it in context, especially with this aligned series of things we're looking at here with the quick flicks. Nothing quick about it, actually. Okay, let's continue here. Whoops. What follows this? Kind of shopping stuff. She's interacting with a dog. A lot more flower stuff. So I recall that, does this end with her kind of like making a DIY dress? Is that the way this resolves? Interesting. Right, so here she designs it. It's interesting to think about that aspect of this. I bet there are deeper resonances, but as a rule, when we find image matches like that, we tend to find deeper resonances in the myth. I like the involvement of this dog. I forgot about this whole sequence. Right, the whole dance thing. Whoops. So the conjunctio is accompanied by, come on, by an antenna and two red vehicles. We get the kiss, you know. Well, yeah, so just based on our sort of rapid scan of that then, which is quite unfair, you know, because we didn't really engage with this movie in any way. We just combed through it looking for image match stuff. One high-dimensional scene that I saw where I thought it was really quite matchy. Otherwise, I would say just kind of faint traces of things. Or at least I've been so impressed by the Circle K material already. I feel that pretty much everything we're looking at now is just like gravy on this dish, you know? It's all extra. It's so stacked already, just phenomenally so. Just the fact that it's this movie with this redhead in it, quoted in that other structure. Then it also contains a couple matches again. Wow, you know. But at the same time, I think basically my suspicions were confirmed here. It doesn't seem to be a super strong exposure here. Although, again, perhaps it's deceptive. Maybe if we looked at this a little longer, maybe we'd start to see some deeper structure in it. That often happens. So I don't want to issue a final statement about it at all. I'll have to return to it. Okay, well, it's 1:15 a.m., about to become the sacred sync. 1:16 a.m., there it is, we just caught it. So I think that means it's a good time to put this down for tonight. Yeah, thanks again for hanging, and see you in the future. I'm just going to go back to that.